Hey, all you little dummies out there. This is the head, big, cold-blooded dummy. What we got going on here today, guys, is we're putting on new brakes on the Triumph Bonneville Bobber 2018. Okay, guys, I can't believe this bike is already 8 years old. So, we got some wave rotors and we got some EBC brake pads. And let's see what else. So yesterday we did the fronts. Okay. We took the front all apart. And as usual, the dummy takes the time to clean and inspect everything. And all of the hardware, the nuts and bolts and the brackets and everything, the dummy put in the ultrasonic cleaner, and that cleans the hell out of everything. And then I just wiped down the rim and cleaned the spokes. And then the caliper wasn't real dirty, but I wiped it down and cleaned it and everything. And I took off the bracket. You can see the silver bracket inside there. I took that off and ran that through the ultrasonic cleaner. So everything is all back together on the front, and I tested it, and it needs to be broken in, but you can see up in here the EBC centered brake pads. But so far so good on the stopping power. Come around on this side. You can see everything inside there is all clean, super clean. That's the way the dummy likes it. I'll show you over here the so the original rotor had this kind of a rubber block, like an insulator, but when you put the new rotor on, you eliminate this. Okay, so everything should the whole swapping out the new rotor and everything and getting rid of this should save some weight. So okay, so down here on the rear we have the rear sprocket carrier, and we have the cush drive, and I'm gonna clean the cush drive with Meguiar's Tire Shine and recondition it. And then I'm gonna wipe this all down and clean this real good. Okay, but there's no issues with anything here, so it just needs to be cleaned. Okay, now let's come back over here to the... So here's the new rotor and the new EBC brake pads. And then I'm gonna take all of the hardware. See how nasty it is? And you can see the blue Loctite. I'm gonna run all that through my ultrasonic cleaner, and that'll all clean up nice and shiny and perfect. Okay, and then I'm just gonna wipe down the rear wheel and clean the spokes and clean the hub area on both sides. Okay, so let me show you guys. So in order to collapse the piston, I showed this to you on a previous video. The sun is going to create issues. So you want to get in here with a screwdriver, and you want to leave the old brake pads installed, and then you just put the axle shaft back in, put the nut on, over here to keep everything from falling off. And then you just get up in here and you just pry gently against the piston, and you can collapse the piston. Okay. And then I'm going to take all the hardware off and take the bracket off and the nuts and bolts, and I'm going to go run everything through my my ultrasonic cleaner. Okay. Let me pause you guys for a second. Okay, guys. So this bike, we have the custom license plate. It says ton up. And everybody should know what that means, but in case you don't know, that means that you're able to do the ton, which means you're able to go 100 miles an hour. And that was kind of a big thing back in England, back in the 50s, was to chop the bike up and bob it in order to make it lighter and more powerful, and in order to be able to do the ton. And they actually had a little club called the Ton Up Boys. So I thought that was kind of fitting for this bike. But anyways, I never got around to installing. This is just a blank, and it's black. And what it does is it goes on the back of the license plate. So I'll show you where it goes. So it'll go up. I'm going to take the license plate off, and then this will go up on the very back of so that you won't see the actual license plate. You'll just see this little, it's like a blackout plate. So I'm going to put that on because I never did that. I did that to all my other bikes. I'll show you over here. So it just goes up on the back and just blacks out the back of the license plate. Anyways. All right, guys, we'll check back in a little bit when we get a little bit further along in the project. And I'm also watching the football game today. So we got Buffalo at Denver, and we're in the third quarter, and Buffalo's losing. All right, guys, we'll check back in a little bit. Hey, all you little dummies out there. This is the head, big, cold-blooded dummy. Okay, guys, we got the project all done. We got the new brakes installed. We got everything cleaned. We got the chain adjusted. And then we washed the bike using hot water from the hot water heater. So once a year I like to do a deep clean with hot water, basically like you're steam cleaning the bike. And then I like to spin up the rear tire to check for the chain alignment, and just to make sure everything's back together correctly. All right, hold on, guys. Let me shut it down. Okay, hold on, guys. Okay, so what we ended up doing is the dummy had accidentally ordered the wrong rear brake pads. I ordered them off of Amazon, and it said that it was the correct pad. So, and then when I got them, I went to install them, and they were wrong. So I returned them, and within a day, I got another set. I got the correct set. So we got the rear, the EBC centered rear, and we got the new wave rotor installed. And then we have the front EBC brake pads with the new wave rotor installed. Okay, guys, so and then we got all the hardware back here. I took off and ran it through my ultrasonic cleaner, and everything cleaned up super nice. Let me show you on this side. Okay. So everything is good to go on this bike. Let's check. So I bought this bike in November of 2018. Let's see how many miles we have on this bike. We only have 4,103 miles on this bike. So it's still like a brand new bike, guys. And I'm probably going to be due for a new battery soon, because I put the Motobat in here less than a year after I got the bike. So that was 8 years ago. And I just had a battery in my Himalaya died. And that was only 5 years old, guys. And that was a Motobat. And something happened and one of the cells went bad. So I just ordered a new battery for the Himalaya. But usually I get between 5 and 10 years on the Motobats. So I'm not really knocking the Motobat. So, all right, guys, that will wrap it up for this video. And, oh, one thing that I haven't done on this bike is I never got around to deleting the charcoal canister. And I know it lives right down inside there. You can see it right down in there. And I've eliminated the charcoal canister on all my bikes, except for this one. So I'm going to research on how to eliminate that. Charcoal canisters are nothing but junk. So, all right, guys, this is the head. Big, cold-blooded dummy. Signing out. Later, all you little gators out there.